Hi guys, in this video we'll go further in writing prepared SQL requests with PHP. In our previous videos, we coded a form that queried just one information from our database cells containing the table games. But how to do when, for example, a form requests several information from the database? For example, if the users wants to obtain a list of games sold by a specific owner, but providing the maximum number of players and also the maximum price at which the games should be sold. Let's do it. Let us adjust our form to meet the new queries. We had the code lines for the maximum players and the maximum price. So we already have the owner's name, so we'll just make some copy and paste. Here on my change here. Max player, maximum number of players, here type is number, and name max player. Here can write your budget, for max price. Here also number, and here max price. So yes, let us also specify here that this label is for owner. Okay, so we have added an input for the max player and also an input for the max price. So here let's change this sentence to selection criteria. Okay, our form has been updated. We save it and we go and check how. See here, selection criteria, owner's name, maximum number of players, your budget. Okay, let's go back to the code. I want to add some space here to have a better display. Okay, now our form has been updated. Now we go to database.php page to manage the queries. This was our previous code, but since we will need the game name, the game number and number of players and also the price, we will adjust the prepared request. So here we'll put number players and also price. Yes, so here we want we have a maximum number of players, so we'll make where number of player less equal than an unknown number that will be provided, and also price is less than equal than an unknown number. Okay, I also want my display to be ordered by price, so order by price. So my prepared request is now updated. Okay, so in the execution we must pass the variable following the same order of appearance in the prepared request. So here, since we first ask for owner, then the number of players and price, in the execution we should also start in the array first the owner, the value that will be passed to the owner, then the value that will be passed to the price. Here this value comes from the post, so we will max player, then we'll have max price. So the execution rule is also updated. Okay, we will write a little sentence introducing the display. Let us write something like echo list of games sold by. Okay, we put the name of the owner entered passed back from the form. Yes, so we collect the name from the form and we arrange the display with some little BRs. Okay, so now finally we have to arrange the display. So our data collects all the information from the bucket. So here we'll echo the name. Okay, so let's add something here to have the price and the maximum number of players. So we put something like yes, max players then I put the max player, that's from data, then I add the price, that will be price. Oh my bad, here I entered max player, but it should be number of players by data. Since the number of players have already been sorted by this limit from the form, so the number of players should be less than the limit entered in the form. Same thing for the price. So my command has been concatenated. Since this is still orange, it means that I did not concatenate something. Okay, I close my bracket. Okay, so here my connection to the database and my request has also been updated. So what I've done here is called concatenation. We already saw that in class, so I will not review it here. So what have I done now? From SQL language, I selected the name, the number of players, and the price from the table games. Now with the specification where the owner, the value for the owner should be passed on by the form, and also where the number of players in this selection should be less than a number entered in the form, and finally the price from this selection should also be less than the maximum price entered in the form, and all the list is ordered by price. You should know this SQL language, so I will also not review it. Here I've prepared my query. So now for the execution of the query, I collect the different variables owner, max player, and max price from the form through the post method, and the variables, these variables should be ordered with the same order inputted here in the prepared command, and the rest is just some adjustment of display. So let us save and try it. Okay, let us put Patrick, number of player 16, or let's say 12, and maximum budget. I recall that in the database the maximum budget was 60, so the maximum price here was 60, and the number of players were going from 1 to 12. So 60, let's say 50, let's say 50 here. Now we send. Oh, I have an error. That is variable data in line 13. So that's error correction. Let us go back line 13. Okay, so here and here. Let's go back. We have Patrick. Let's put 12 and now 50. So now we have list of games sold by Patrick. We have Sonic maximum number of player 1, price 2. We have here maximum number of players 2, price 10, and all of that. I can go back and select another, like Mitchell, number of players 8, and budget 35. So you have list of games sold by Mitchell, and we have the list sorted by price. So you see here you have price 2, 7, 10, 19, 20, 20, 25, and 30. So since the limit is 35, it ends here. So that's how you can write your prepared query, your prepared SQL request to query a database for several information. This method works quite well. We should note that with the question marks, the values in the execution should be passed on following the exact order of the variable in the prepared request. That can be quite confusing if you have a large number of values to be passed on. To avoid the confusion, we should make use of what we call name markers. Let's do it. Instead of using question marks, we will use name markers in our prepared request. So here we will have to change these question marks into name markers. So for the owner, let's change it to create a name markers. You first use the column, then you write the name of the marker. So for owner here, let's say owner name. For number of player, we say max player. On the price, let's say max price. So when you created name markers in the execute function, you should now pass these values from the form to the name markers. So For the owner, we should pass to owner name, the owners from the post. Then from the max player, we post max player, and finally we should pass the max price to the marker max price. Passing a value to the name marker, we don't put the colon. The colon is used just when you create a marker, so in the prepared request. Let us try this code. Here I will use Florent, number of players 8 and budget 40, and you see the code works well. The advantage of this method is that in the execute function, the name markers is not obliged to write the name markers following the same order than the variable in the prepared request. So here the confusion of following the order in the execute function is lifted. So this is the method I mostly recommend. In this video, we improved our way to write prepared SQL request with PHP. We made use of name markers to write our prepared request such that we can now query several information from the database without caring about the order of passing on the variable's value. If you like this video, subscribe to be notified for the future video. And don't forget, PHP is fun.